We have next on our agenda today, the next meeting date and adjournment. The next meeting date, I had originally thought that we would be able to do these all on Tuesdays, but we are looking to have some national folks come in to do a presentation on laws throughout the country. And it seems as though Thursday of next week is going to be the best time to make that happen. So I would ask you all to mark that on your calendar. We also have another potential complicating matter. It is spring break the following Tuesday, so April 17th. So I'm not positive if anyone has any children who are out of school and a planned vacation. But being as how we have such a short period of time to do the work, we had hoped to have everything done either within April or the first week of May. So I would ask your indulgence to have next Tuesday's meeting moved to next Thursday at the same time in the same room, and then pending April 17th according to your schedule. So I know that I'm looking at the numbers here, and we'll have to get back on that, back to you. But we will move for next Thursday. The last thing in preparation for next week's meeting is the general laws, so a little bit of homework for you. I know that we have Chapter 28.5 copies made, which are the laws that are pertaining to Michael Voris, the Human Rights Commission, or the Commission for Human Rights. And then I think what we'll do is mail to you Chapter 42-112 so that you can familiarize yourself with the other chapter within Rhode Island state law that deals specifically with sexual harassment. And, you know, we can do what we can to answer any questions in advance of that if anyone has questions, and just kind of familiarize yourself with those, take into context the information that you were provided today. I know already several good ideas were brought up by my commission members, and I'm taking notes as to potential outcomes. And as we go through this process, feel free to ask whatever questions you have while we're here. I think we have tremendous resources both this week and coming in next week. And I encourage you to just keep in mind ideas as they come to you so that we can in the end, put forward some proposals. Okay, so those are the laws. So with that, I will, unless there's any other business that anyone has. Yes, Mr. Vora.
Just one quick point I thought of in response, not to a question that was asked of me, but a question that was asked of Ms. Burrell, and I neglected to answer it or address it when I was speaking, but I think it's something, if we're going to be looking at reviewing the laws and contemplating ways in which to strengthen it. There was a question asked, and I can't remember by whom. I think it might have been Representative Giarrusso, but I'm not sure, about the ability of Cheryl's office to take an anonymous complaint. And the only thing that I would encourage us to think about, and certainly we can flesh this out further as we talk, is that there are real due process issues with taking an anonymous complaint. The Commission for Human Rights, just as Cheryl's office does initiate a complaint, meaning we could be the complainant in a charge. We don't use that power often, but very often when we have done it, it's been the result of, for example, testing, where someone's contacted us and said they believe a certain type of discrimination is occurring. It's most often in housing, and we've then almost always, because we've had access to federal funds to do it, conducted testing where, say, we've sent a black tester out to apply for an apartment, then sent a white tester out right after, and we've generated cases that way, mostly pursuant to federal funds. But I think the challenge, and this is something that we'd probably all want to roll around in our heads as we're contemplating this, is if someone were to be able to call my office or Cheryl's office and simply say, I'm being the victim of harassment, but I don't want to tell you who I am, I don't know that we could, first of all, that individual is the primary witness, correct? So you don't have a claim without a witness, without someone who's alleging the actual harm. So I just think that we would have to really flesh out the legality and the due process concerns of accepting an anonymous complaint and how exactly that would be investigated and what disposition, if any, an agency like mine or an entity like Cheryl's could come up with. But just food for thought as we're contemplating ways in which the law could be strengthened.
Wonderful, and those are exactly, we have such a talented commission here. I really appreciate the feedback, and as we pursue these questions, I look forward to the discussions. So without any other comments or questions, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All right, we have a first and a second. Thank you very much again for your attention and your participation.